Hi everyone and good morning. My name is Dami, your host, After Fashion Business Summit. Welcome again to today's workshop. I am super excited. I am thrilled, and there's just so much that's going to go down today. And I hope that you're all ready to learn. You have your pen and paper. You have your atmosphere set in the tone to learn. And please watch out for questions. Take down your questions. You can share your questions in the comment section below. Now, the African Fashion Business Summit is an organization where we focus so much more on how to bring all the players in the entire African fashion industry value chain together, where conversations are held, where opportunities are made available for people to learn, upskill, and improve on themselves within the fashion space, where issues are discussed and problems are preferred. Now, we started the social project at the Africa Fashion Business Summit in the month of July. And this August alone, the project launched, and we've had one episode of our uh, free workshops. That episode was actually focused on making accessories with African prints. Now, in today's episode, we'll be looking at introduction to 3D fashion design with no one else but the beautiful, amiable, talented Adiat. Now, for those who might be interested in learning or watching the previous video, which we had done last week, which is on making accessories, this video is actually very important because you can actually learn a quick skill that can put food on your table. Just a side also, right? And before you know it, it can grow into a big business. Or you can just improve upon your accessories making skills, which you already might have. But today, we'll be focusing on introduction to 3D fashion design. Why is this workshop made available? Now, within the industry, we've realized that the digital solutions are making waves. Technology is the order of the day, and a lot of young entrepreneurs and fashion enthusiasts across Africa are seeking opportunities to even have an idea on what 3D is and how they can infuse it into their businesses, or how they can begin to pursue a career in this line of in this field, or specialize in this field. And that's why we have Adiat with us today. Adiat, do you want to say hello? I see that you still need a few minutes. Okay, so Adiat is a Nigerian who began these 3D skills a couple of years ago. She's going to be taking us through a lot of things. She's going to introduce herself, and she's going to tell us um, how she began, and then we will dive right into um, learning the introduction to 3D fashion design. Now, please note, I'm saying this as a disclaimer. This workshop is made free just to serve as an introduction to those who are interested in learning about 3D fashion design. However, it is advised that you pursue another certification beyond this workshop. This workshop is to just help you understand the basics, or what is expected, or the things that happen within this field, 3D fashion design. And DIAT also will be offering short workshops, short courses for those who might be interested in pursuing this um, field even further. And because of that, working with African Fashion Business Summit, she's been able to put together a discount. The discount code will be shared to only the participants of this particular workshop, and we'll share the details towards the end of the workshop, or in the community group created on WhatsApp. Without much further ado, I would like to welcome Adiat to take the floor. This is about her sharing her knowledge, and I think that if you're truly passionate about this course, if you've been um, building interest about this course, I would advise that you pay attention, avoid distractions, and listen. She'll be sharing her screen, she'll be doing some demonstrations, and that's why it's important that you pay close attention. Now, I would like her to introduce yourself and share with us the basic tools or equipment or softwares or apps that are necessary for you to own to pursue this line of specialization within the fashion industry. So thank you everyone. And yes, Adiat. Adiat,
Hi
please go
everyone,
ahead.
my name is Harriet. I'm a virtual fashion designer, an XR advocate, and an avatar creator. So today I'll be taking you guys through an introduction of what 3D fashion is, the first steps into 3D fashion, and how you can begin
Adiat,
as
can
a
you
3D.
hold on? We have an issue with the projection.
Okay,
It's not it's there's a spiral effect. So is there a
okay.
way we can solve that problem? So while we wait on Adia to quickly put a fix to the display, I would like to ask the audience, what are your expectations in this workshop? What are you looking forward to learning? What do you hope to what questions do you hope to get answered? You can drop your comments or your questions in the comment section. I look forward to seeing them. Okay, fantastic. I can see. Adia, do you want to try turn off your camera and let's see if the one you're projecting um, will just take up the entire screen. Okay, so
It's better now.
Isha Dair says that
Should should I reshare it again? Should I sharing and sharing?
yes, you can. What I didn't get that, please. Okay, so while we wait on Adia to solve this problem, we're just going to go ahead to take questions so that we know what people are expecting from us and from this session. So I'll be on the background and just
Is it fine now?
um yes, no, there's still a spiral effect. So please hold on. Okay, but we're still having a ripple effect here.
Okay, so is there anything I could do for my end to solve this?
Is it possible to use the same platform, right, to speak rather than having two accounts?
I'm having just one account. I don't know why it
Okay.
is showing so. Okay, well, I'll just go out and come back in. What about that?
Yes, let's try that. So while we wait on um, our troubleshooting to be sorted, wow, this is not. So yes, keep your questions coming, guys. Keep your questions coming. In another 5 minutes, we shall be able to sort out this little hiccup that we have, and then dive right into the session proper. So I'd like to start by apologizing to everyone for this little hiccup that seems to be taking a little bit of our time. Um, I don't know if Adiat is ready to start with the theoretical aspect. Would you be able to manage that while we go on with the troubleshooting at the background?
My screen. So I don't know if an interactive section is possible with everybody to start with.
Yes, please.
That way I
Yes, please.
don't have to share
Do you have
my
like do you have your slides ready that we can share? Can you share your slides with the
okay.
same computer that you're using to speak?
Sure, definitely.
So, sorry?
I can share my slides now.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Then you have to turn on your camera, please. So,
Okay. I
Isha
have to turn on my
Dahir.
camera.
Okay, you can go ahead and just share your slides.
Okay.
Isha Dahir says that he looks forward to learning 3D fashion skills. I'm glad to hear that. Vanessa Atsu also says she's looking forward to understanding the basics of 3D fashion and how to use it to view my deck, or how to use it to view our designs. So looking forward to seeing more people share what their expectations are. So kindly put your comments in the your expectations in the comment section, please. Hello, Adiat, are you ready for us?
Yeah, I am ready. I don't know. It's not sharing. It's not making up. Because I'm trying
Do
to
you want
share
to
it from
can
Chrome.
you send your slides to me on
Okay,
WhatsApp and
definitely.
then I'll
Just
just share it for you?
give me a minute
Okay.
then.
So Igri Victor says, I've been looking for how to learn CLO and DAS for a long time now. I'm glad I found this opportunity. Fantastic. So, hi guys, I'd like to indulge you by saying that please indicate where you're from. So I wish I knew where Vanessa Atsu is from and Isha Dair. I also wish I knew where Igri Victor is participating from. What country are you? What's your city? We have Omar Al Fateh says, I think we should know the best application to use and how to use it. Fantastic. That sounds brilliant. I totally agree with you, Omar. So if you're going to share your expectations, kindly put them in the comment section. Just say, I am from Ghana, from Accra, Ghana, and I, I these are my thoughts. Oh, Vanessa is from Ghana. Wow, what a coincidence. Thank you, Vanessa. Okay, so we're gonna start the session in another 5 minutes. We apologize again for the delay. Just a few troubleshooting, unforeseen troubleshooting. So we have, oh, fantastic. Isha Dair is from, is joining us from Nairobi, Kenya. Fantastic, Isha. Isha wants to learn 3D fashion skills. And then we have Needy. Needy is from Lusaka, that's Zambia. Needy, what exactly are your expectations? Can you share with us Can you post a comment? What are your expectations? Oduro Patrick says is from Ghana. Patrick, what are your expectations? What do you hope to learn from this session? Igor Victor is watching from Calabar, Nigeria. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm looking forward to all those in the community joining shortly. So let me ask. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the metaverse. You've heard of the revolution going on in the digital space for fashion. And one of the foundational skills that is required, right, is 3D designs and animation, right? Because for Africa, the new way for them to embrace our culture, our fashion, our food, cuisine, our ways will be virtual, right? And the virtual reality world is here to stay. Something that is going to compete with physical fashion shows like runway events. However, it is actually an add-on. It's not in competition with. It's it's going to be a collaboration. Oh, fantastic! Hi, Mariana. We have Mariana joining us from Kigali, Rwanda, and we also have with us. We have Muhammadu Mustafa. Muhammadu, where are you joining us from? Oh, it's from Tunisia. Hi, Muhammad. It's great to have you here. And then we have Ola Goroye Glory. She's watching us. Oh, hi, Glow. I like your name, Glow. She's watching us from Ibadan, Nigeria. Okay, so like I was saying, it gets to a point where people who are very keen to having a successful career in the fashion industry in Africa have to begin to learn 3D. Have to begin to learn 3D. Have to begin to pick up the skills required to build a portfolio, build an identity in the new future. The new future now is the metaverse, right? Um, Fashion brands are rushing into the metaverse to have an identity there. Fashion brands have begun embracing the need to create experiences, virtual experiences on the metaverse. And for anyone who is actually serious about a career, they would eventually go on to learning these skills. And that's why we're working together with Adiat to put together this workshop. So we're waiting on Adiat. Adiat, could you just update me if there's a way I can quickly solve the problem? We're supposed to begin the session by 10:30 exactly, and the audience are building up, and we need to keep the momentum. Okay, so I think that what we can do is okay. So while we have someone else joining us, Obed Kayla. Obekela says, I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I look forward to learning the basics, the recommended apps, and how to use them, and the easy steps and acts to know concerning 3D fashion design. Fantastic, Obed. It's great to have you here. And I think that I will put up these expectations again so that Adiat can begin to address them. Once I receive the email from Adiat, Adiat will begin the introduction. And once we're done with the introduction, which I believe will answer bulk of your questions, we will then go into the presentation. So we have Oduro Patrick. He says, my expectations is that I'm doing my master's thesis on investigating the employability of fashion and textile students through 2D and 3D virtual simulation program. That is amazing, Patrick. That is amazing. Do you want to share with us the school where you are running your masters and it will be fantastic actually to bring you on one of our live interviews to discuss um, your thesis. I think we need to begin to encourage and celebrate intellectual um, content from Africans, young Africans. So, Adiat, would you like to put on your camera and begin to answer or introduce yourself? Share with the audience when you started and how you started, and then let them know what they are in to learn in this. Um,
Okay, sure. So sorry for the delay, everyone. So I like to apologize for that. I think there are some technical issue from my end as well. So I'll just kind of like go over the comments one after the other. So to learn 3D fashion design skill, yeah. So this is just like an introduction class that gives you like an overview of what you to learn like in the future and what the whole 3D fashion space entails, basic understanding of 3D and how I can use it to view my. Yes, you can actually view your designs in 3D, like when you have like a real life pattern and you're trying to convert that pattern into something without you wasting fabric. So this is one thing you can kind of like make use of. I've been looking for how to learn Clue and DAS for a very long time. So this course is strictly going to be Clue 3D because that is like one of the basics of 3D fashion designing. Although we have other softwares that you can use aside from Clue 3D, but I personally make use of Clue 3D. And for DAS is we won't be doing DAS 3D for this course because this is just like the basics. So we won't be going into DAS because DAS is more of how you can create avatars, fashion models, and things like that. I think we should know the best application to use and how to use it. So for that, like I said, there are different kind of applications you can use for 3D fashion designing. Because when we talk about 3D fashion designing, we have the cloth designing part, we have the patterning part, and we have several other things that 3D fashion design are being used for. Things like you can use it in your games, you can use it in the metaverse, you can use it for real life fashion, and you can use it for fashion show and a host of others. So one of the application I would prescribe to you is definitely Clo 3D. But aside from Clo 3D, we have Style 3D and we have Browseware. Those are the three I personally know of when it comes to software that you can use for clothes designing. But nevertheless, you still need to do more advanced things because it doesn't just anything. You need to learn how to make like nice presentations, create your own models. That's when like that's 3D coming. You can use that 3D or make human for that or character creator. So when it comes to like animations, you can use that 3D Mixamo and yeah, and character creator at the same time. And when we talk about maybe texture, creating your own fabrics and things like that, so you can think of the Substance Adobe Suite where we have Substance Painter, Substance Sampler, Substance Painter, Sampler, and Designer. And when we go into like rendering and giving like good virtual feel to your clothing items, so you can talk
and yes,
about Blender and just use Blender for
would
your
you like to move
animation.
on the slides now, or you're not ready for
Okay,
that yet?
okay. So we can move to the slides and I'll come back to the
Fantastic.
comment section. So I'm
Question.
just trying to answer the questions one after the other.
Understand. All right then. So we'll start with the slides.
Okay.
Adiat Atelier, want to introduce yourself?
My name is Hadiat, but Hadiat Atelier is simply means Hadiat Studio. So it's a studio I run where I do everything from 3D designing of clothing items, accessories, to creating XR, AR, and VR content, and to creating avatars that could be used for fashion show and virtual influencer. So it's a studio that encompasses everything that has to do with 3D fashion. The next slide. So the next slide is about me, and on the right hand side of the slide is an image of one of the avatars I've created so far. Is Wele, and she's a transhuman avatar. She's an Afrofuturistic transhuman avatar. So I'm a 3D virtual fashion designer, like I've said. My expertise are creating realistic clothes renderings with creating realistic clothes renderings with details And at the same time, I like to refer to myself as an Afrofuturistic fashion designer. As much as I create anything when it comes to fashion designing, for my brand, the personal brand I run for myself, it's an Afrofuturistic brand. But for Adiat Studio, we create like everything from African clothing to Western clothing to Chinese clothing, all sort of clothing. So I've been doing this for the past 5 years. So I moved from being a digital fashion, being a 2D illustrator to digital fashion designing to 3D. I create assets for games now and metaverses at the same time. So I've worked with brands like the Fabricants, Meta, Spectral, that's 3D, OKC, and some universities. Yeah, among others. Sorry, next slide. So the next slide will be telling us about what 3D fashion means, because I know some of us have been hearing about what is digital fashion, what does 3D fashion means. So I'd like to tell you today that digital fashion is beyond 3D fashion. So you creating a 3D version of your clothing item, it doesn't just end there. So now we have addition of more immersive technology into it, like you tracking your clothing items on your body, where we have like the AR, the VR, and the metaverse, and the host of other things. So, what is digital fashion? So, digital fashion is the virtual representation of clothes built using computer technologies and softwares. So, softwares are what I've mentioned earlier when I was trying to answer some of your questions, like 3D, Substance Designer, that's 3D. So, those are like softwares that you use to achieve digital design and other computer technologies, like when talking about softwares, your hardware, the kind of laptop you need to use to achieve this. So that is like things that we are presently, like that you can relate to digital fashion. This industry is on the rise due to awareness. You would all agree with me that the fashion industry is one of the most unsustainable industries we have. And with the advent of 3D fashion designing, we are trying to create a more sustainable fashion, a more sustainable way of us consuming fashion. And big brands have been joining these movements like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and a host of others like Balenciaga. So how do we create digital fashion? So digital fashion is created using 3D softwares, applications, just like the way we have a tailor sitting on a machine. So also digitally, you sew your clothes digitally like that. So the difference is one is physical and one is digital. So it almost takes the same process, but the only thing that is different is the application that is being used. The process is almost the same thing, and the kind of software being used at the same times. So what is the purpose of digital fashion? Like I said earlier on, the fashion industry is not sustainable, and we're trying to make it sustainable. That is like one way to actually look at the purpose of digital fashion. Another purpose that we can think of digital fashion is self-expressions that we don't like, that is really difficult for you to do in the physical world. For example, everybody comes from a certain particular environment that you can come out and say, okay, this is what I want to be, or this is who I want, or this is how I want to dress. You have to dress in a particular format because of your environment. And I love to say fashion means freedom. Everybody should be free to wear what they want to do. But with the digital fashion, you can do that digitally. You can wear anything you want to wear without you feeling like, oh, what will people say about me and things like that. So the importance of digital fashion is there is no limitation. You can create anything, you can achieve anything, and there's no limitation of I want to create certain collections, but I don't know how to go about it. Okay, but I don't know how to go, but I don't know how to go about it. So all those things are things you can actually achieve using digital fashion. You just need to think about it and you're able to do it. So these are like the advantage of digital fashion, and why digital fashion is very important in today's fashion industry, because our fashion industry today is limited, and before you can go into fashion designing, you need to have like money to produce your collections, like you need to have money to pay the tailors if you're not the one sewing it yourself. You need to have money to attend fashion shows, you need to have money, and it takes a lot of time. But with digital fashion, you don't need all this. All you just need is your laptop and your softwares, and you can easily showcase your designs and your collections to the world, and everybody is able to kind of like purchase and make orders. And at the same time, you don't need to create these clothing items down. There are some of us that are into fashion designing, and when we are releasing a particular collection, we make size 6, size 8, size 10, size 18, and at the end of the day, we get people requesting for size 10. So what happens to the one we've made down? So all these things are being avoided using digital fashion. With digital fashion, you don't need to create these clothing items down. All you just need to do is create them on your softwares, create a fashion show for them, a digital fashion show, a digital fashion runway. You can do like AR filters for them. And when someone purchases the item, you print out your pattern, then you go ahead and create like the physical version of these clothing items. So like that, you're not wasting money, you're not wasting time, and you don't have clothes that are unworn and that end up in the landfill. And as a buyer too, the advantage of digital fashion for a buyer is that you don't have to have so many clothes in your wardrobe that you're not wearing. So when you need a particular clothes, you can actually have the clothes fitted on your body digitally, and you can take pictures with it and keep it for future references. So you don't need to buy every clothing item or every collection that come out every time. So this is bringing a lot of sustainability into the fashion industry that we are looking at. So next slide. So yeah, what is Fluid 3D? Like I said earlier, digital fashion design, we have different form of softwares that we use. Like there are a whole lot of softwares that you can make use of to achieve digital fashion. And there are processes to digital fashion. So number one of the process is creating the 3D garment itself. So what are the software used in creating the 3D garment? Like I said, I personally make use of Glue 3D, but we have several other softwares. 3D, Browseware. Those are the three softwares I know: Glue 3D, Style 3D, and Browseware. But I make use of Glue 3D. So this introduction course, we will be looking at Glue 3D. What is Clo 3D? Clo 3D is a fashion design software program that you create true to life virtual garments with cutting edge technologies. So with Clo 3D, you can actually practice what you practice in the real life as a fashion designer digitally. You can create patterns for your clothes, you can sew your garments, you can fit your garments, you can animate your garments, and you can even do a turntable rotation for your garment. And you can do colorways, like if you are thinking, oh, I don't want to use this fabric, I want to use this fabric, you can test everything out, include 3D before doing the actual garment itself. And at the same time, you can use Flow 3D for BOM. Like if you're trying to kind of like know how many fabric you use for a particular garment, how much it's going to cost for you to make a particular garment. All these are calculations that you can make with Flow 3D. So so this is the part that I'm supposed to be sharing my slides to you guys, showing you some videos of what I have made using Pro 3D. So I don't know if the connection is fine now and I can do that. Can I share my screen now? So I don't know if you can see my screen now.
on our side. I guess this is one of those moments where we really do hope that the internet would cooperate with us for you all to learn as much as possible about the introduction of the 3D fashion. So we hope Adia will join us again. While we wait for her, does anybody want to share a few things that they took away from what she has shared? I will start. You can put your comments, you can post your comments in the section there. For me, I believe that learning is progressive. For her, it's quite inspiring to see that she began with physical illustration and moved on to digital illustration, and she began to explore the available options. I'm sure this must have began even more with research before she took on specific courses, right, to upskill herself and then learn. And like she had said, there are few tools that some of you have requested to learn, and she's definitely willing to teach those tools, but she says they're advanced, meaning that there are a few things you still need to learn that are the basics. I look forward to Adia joining us again, okay? Adia is back.
Sorry for the breaking transmission.
Adia
So
is fine.
I will
The
share my
network is
screen
good.
now.
Yes, please.
So I just want to show you guys some of the things I made using Flow 3D. So this is a fashion film I made, and I used Flow 3D to create all the garments. Though the animations and the scene is made in Unreal, but the garments are made in Flow.
Well, with you, Adia, for some reason, the network seems to be freezing. If you can hear me,
This is textured in Flow 3D and also at the same time made in Flow 3D.
so do you want to tell us how long did it take you to create this?
So it depends. So I like to kind of like sketch out my designs first before I make them. So for one of these garments, especially this one, I think I created all the whole garment in a day.
Okay. So did you design the textile as well?
Yes, I designed the textile as well. So I like to say that I'm also a textile designer, a digital textile designer, and a fabric designer. So I design my prints and convert these prints into textiles that could be used for 3D clothing and variables.
That's
So
amazing.
this is actually
Do you
another
want
one
to play
that
the
I would
video
like you guys.
again?
What did you say?
Can you repeat the video played again?
Okay, I will do that. So yeah, the title of this collection is The New You, and it's a fashion film. A fashion film trying to say that
We
this
can't
time
see
around.
anything at the moment.
What did you say?
We can only see the first blue African print dress, and it's static.
Okay. So probably let me see if I can just share a video file. What about now? Is it better now?
Yes. Now it's
Okay.
playing. I hope the audience can see this because I can.
Yeah. So I think what I just need to do is I need to share it as a video, not as a slide.
Right.
So the title of this collection is The New You. So it's a
Okay.
collection trying to say that everybody needs to take the new technology and make the fashion industry more sustainable. And to do that, you have to create a new you. You have to have a new way of seeing things, a new way of thinking, and ability for you to accept the new technologies that we have now. So I tried as much as possible to combine the normal African print that I created using Cowrie. So if any of the design zooms out, you'll be able to see the print clearly. So the prints are made of cowries and strokes, some of the African strokes that we have. And at the same time, I put on the oculus for the avatars just to show that they are seeing new things, they are ready, they are still who they are. They are still like an African person, but they are ready to accept and bring in this digital means of creating digitally into the African environment and the African fashion industry. So that's what this is about.
So I would like to say that this is fantastic. Hi everyone, if you're watching this and you have questions already, I think it will be a great time to put your questions in, comment section so that we can begin to take those questions and answer them.
Okay. Do we get access to the resources and slide after this class? The first slide that was displayed, you will have access to that because that is where I've written everything that will be taught by 3D. This particular video, you can check it out on my Instagram page. Then, yeah, thank you very much. I indeed started as a 2D illustrator. I mean, thank you very much. So,
Okay, so Adia, do
yes,
you
you
have any
can
other?
reach out to me later. What did you say?
So for those that are interested in learning how to design, can you play the video again, please? For those that
Okay,
are
I will
interested in
play
learning,
another video because I have
yes,
like three videos to play. But do you want
yes,
me to
please.
replay this or play
No,
the
please
new
play
one?
another video. You can play all the videos, then we'll then go on to discussing other things, especially the questions that will come in
Okay, so
from
I will
them.
just play the next video. So this is the next video. So this particular video, I concentrated more on making. If you see the garment, you can see the wool textures on the cloth. So that was like more of the concentrations that I have using this clothes. I wanted to show how rich African culture is when it comes to textiles, and that is what I have done with this particular clothing. So this cloth is also made from cloth 3D. Everything about the clothing, but it is not textured in cloth 3D. It's textured using Substance Painter, and the animation is made with Blender. The avatar base mesh is from DAS. The next one. So I'm about to play the next one.
So my first question will be, where, what are the tools
What are
to
the tools to create?
begin to learn with?
What did you say?
I said my first question will be, what are the tools to begin to learn with?
So I would always advise you start with Fluid 3D because that's where your garment will come out from. Every other software is for adding like extra details to your clothing items. But as much as you're going to be starting with Fluid 3D, always bear in mind that you need to also be learning these other softwares alongside so that you can have like a very good quality to your fabrics and your renderings and your animations and the clothing itself.
Okay, so what are the other tools? Now you've said they should start with Glow 3D, right? And this is where their garments will come out from, right? So what are the other tools?
So I personally make use of the whole of Adobe Suite, Substance Painter, Designer, and Sampler for my fabric.
Please, can you
So
hold on? Can you take, I think we should take them one by one. So you
okay,
said you use
so
Adobe Suite.
for creation of garments, when you're creating the garment, you can either make use of Clo 3D, Style 3D, or Browseware. but I use Glue 3D. When it comes to texturing, you can either texture your clothing item in Glue 3D, Substance Painter, Designer, or Sampler.
That's amazing.
When it comes
Can you mention the tools again for texturing?
So tools
Close.
I use for texturing, we have either you do it in Pro 3D itself, Painter, Designer, or Sampler. Substance for the three of them: Substance Painter, Substance Designer, Substance Sampler.
So we're getting a lot of feedbacks here. Someone asked, Indy asked, she said, how did you make the video?
For renderings, either your animation or your rendering, you can make them in so many softwares depending on the one you're good at. So this particular one on the screen is made in Unreal Engine. The one that has a film by Adiat, the video is made in Unreal Engine. I would
It's
like
made
to
in
say
where? We didn't get
Unreal
that.
Engine. Unreal
Can you
Engine.
can you type that out for us, please?
Okay. Um, I think I can comment. I don't know why. Well,
Okay, unripped engine.
what did you say? Unreal Engine. I'll just type it here for you. Unreal Engine.
So someone is asking, so Vanessa, so yes, this is actually available, but that is when you specifically specify. That's what we meant by there will be a foundational course. This is to just introduce people to what 3D clothing is. So apparently it means that you already have the knowledge of 3D clothing or digital clothing, and you are seeking to now learn the skills. The bulk of people here, I think a percentage of them are just being exposed to what um, 3D designs are. They're just getting to know the kind of tools that are available. So for you, Vanessa, I would suggest that you indicate in the group so that we can link you up directly with Adiat and you can discuss and learn through our online course, which would then make available the knowledge of how to create garments from patterns to full garments using tools in 3D Pro. And yes, we have been mentioning that all along that this is available, and at yet we'll be offering that at a discounted rate for those who are registering for it through the AFBS platform. So do let us know on WhatsApp if you are keen on proceeding to learning these tools. Thank you so much.
So I see a video is playing now. So this particular garment that is playing that is on your screen now is entirely made in Flow 3D. Like the white thing you can see, which is like a sequence. The sequence on it is from Flow 3D, but the fabric itself is from Substance Sampler.
Okay, so how long does it take you to complete a project?
It depends on the if it's a collection, probably a collection. So it ranges from a day, few hours. So I can't really tell you a specific hours or specific days, depending on what you're creating and depending on your level, like your skill level
Okay, are
of
the
that
apps
particular thing you're
usable?
creating.
So this is another question on the screen. Are the apps usable on on phones or just PCs?
So the apps are just used on PC, and you have to have like PC with a graphics card to run most of the apps.
So I would like to know, for those that want to be able to achieve what we are watching on the screen right now. It means that they have to master or begin to learn how to use um, Clone 3D.
Yes, for a start through 3D and gradually. So they have to understand the concept of creating these garments digitally first, then move to
Are these
texturing.
part of the things that you're offering in your online course?
Yes, definitely. So for
Fantastic.
the online course, there's the clothing. We have the cloth dedicated course where all you just like learn through 3D, and we have the one that has like the beginners course where you learn through 3D, a bit of that 3D, and a bit of Mixamo. Then the intermediate classes where we have the texturing, where we do sampler, painter, and at the same time blender. So I'm still working on an advanced one where we can have like Unreal Engine and some of the other softwares. But for now, we just have the beginners and the intermediate class and the group dedicated class.
So for the beginners class, how long does it take?
For the beginners class, so it depends on the person taking his schedule. So it ranges from a period of 2 weeks to 1 month. So you can either choose to do twice a week or once a week for a period of 1 month, or twice a week for a period of 2 weeks.
So we have a few people who are interested. Vanessa, kindly put in the comment section if you're interested in this course. I'm going to take note of these people at the end so that the discount applies to them directly. And after this, our introductory session. So, um, if we do not have any more questions, I'd like to ask if you have anything else to add to all that you have shared with us.
What
Um,
about
for example, I think I would like to know, are there communities that beginners can join? Nima, as Abdulaziz is saying, what about we that are just beginners? I'd like to know, are
so
there communities where people can, join, introduce themselves as beginners, and, they'll be carried along?
so you that are just beginners, like I said, the beginner, I have a clothes dedicated only course, and I have a beginners course. So the beginners course will take you step by step on how to get hold of the softwares, step by step on how to get hold of the software. And aside from the 1 month program, there is also like a form of mentoring after the whole course, like a a 2 to 3 months mentoring where you can reach out to me and I can set up a call with you and get you on things that you're not getting right. And aside from that, you can always reach out to me later, depending on what we agree on. But for now, that's just like what we have on ground. Everything is designed from scratch. Yes, there are ways to go about this. You can
So,
either design it from scratch or
so
make
we
use
have
of
this question from Patrick at the end. Say, I've been trying to learn Marvelous Designer. Have you tried your hands on that software before?
Okay, so funny enough, Clo 3D and Marvelous Designer are actually similar softwares if you check their interface. So I personally use both softwares. I use Clo 3D when it is fashion related, fashion specific, when the person I'm creating for or what I'm creating for is just for fashion industry. But when it is for the gaming industry or for the metaverse, sometimes I create in Glue and only to Marvelous Designer, or I do everything for Marvelous Designer itself. So once you learn either of the software, you can make use of the others. Do I answer your question?
I believe so, Adiyat. You have. So there's another question. So I will be sharing this question. I think it's easy. I'll share your Instagram handle for everybody um, on the community page. Kindly share your Instagram handle, please. I'll
So
be doing
you
admin
asked a
activities.
question the other time about if there is a community that people can join. So
Yes.
personally, I see the lapses in the African industry that we are really behind when it comes to digital fashion and everything that has to do with digitalization of fashion. I have a Discord channel that I'm running and trying to like, if you have questions, you can ask me. And at the same time, myself and two of my friends, Jessica James and Nietzsche, and at the same time Dora. We are coming up with a community, a digital fashion community, and it's called Digital Fashion Africa. You can also check it on Instagram and join the community. So we're just starting up, so you might not really see much, but we want to create a platform whereby other African other African designers that is willing to join the 3D space can have like mentors, can have a place where they can check what is happening and news about digital fashion in general. And at the same time, you can also join my Discord channel.
Okay, so this is Deborah Temitope saying, can someone who does not know about physical illustration, I believe she's saying manual illustration, can they get to use can they get the use of Chrome 3D?
Yes, everything is just about learning. Like I said initially, I started off as a 2D physical illustration at myself. So everything is just about learning, and soon you get there. I don't think it's that thing. It's just learning and being dedicated to it and putting your mind to it. Because that's where I started from myself.
Okay, so we have another question here. I think Igri started by saying, okay, are there easier ways to get resource packages for this app, like downloadables, patterns, and avatars? And I think it followed up by saying, or does everything need to be designed from scratch?
So they have subscription base. You need to pay for subscription. They have a 30 days free. So you can get that 30 days free for you to learn and see if it is really something you would be interested in. But the apps are subscription based. And for avatars, you can use that 3D for your avatars. I like to say it's a free premium software. The software is free, but you have to get like add-ons, plugins, and things like that. You can also make use of Blender. Blender 2 is free premium, but you have to get plugins and add-ons. Pro 3D is subscription based. You have to either pay monthly or yearly for it. At the same time, Marvelous Designer 2 is subscription based. Then when it comes to designing part of it, so you could go on Pinterest. So these are things we still, I don't know if we have time to go through that today. So you could go on Pinterest, download patterns. Probably you want to make a straight gown and you don't have an idea of how this is made. You can go on Pinterest, download this pattern, then kind of like trace this pattern out. And you can read books like Nathaniel Gray that has to do with pattern making, Ellen Armstrong, and few books like that just to get yourself started with the whole concept of fashion designing itself. But if you have an idea of what fashion designing means physically, like you are used to cutting clothes, you know about pattern, so you probably would just need to just add a little bit of knowledge to yourself and learn basically on how to use the software itself. So the software is more like translating what you do in the physical world to the digital world. That's just it. It's still the same thing. Still the same way you cut your fabric. Still the same way you shape out your armhole. Still the same way you shape out your hips. Everything is the same thing. It's just you learning how to use the software instead of your scissors and your clothing, your fabric.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And this has been very, very informative. For all those who have indicated that they are interested, I've taken note of them. We have Deborah, we have Indy, we have Amina, we have Vanessa, we have Glory, and they will definitely kindly also indicate this on the WhatsApp group immediately after this session, so that we can take down your name, and once Adiat declares the date for the online course to commence, you will be contacted and you will be provided with all the necessary details about dates and time and what platform. And also, of course, I think you would also be one of those who would go directly into the community without any hassle. So right now we're moving to a little practical. I think this is one of the things that one of the audience has been asking Vanessa. So Adiat is going to take us through a very simple practical to just show you how things are done. Adiat, if you're ready, please kindly indicate that you're
Yeah,
ready.
can you share the slide again?
Okay, yes, I can do that.
And I would like to ask how much time we have.
So we have about 14 minutes left. I can push it
14
to
minutes.
I can push it to about 20 minutes. right?
Oh, that's
But
relatively small. But yeah, we should be able to
relatively
sort.
small.
Yes.
I'm sure that they are not in a hurry, actually, because
Okay,
the
okay,
audience are interested in learning. So, I think we should wrap up all our activities by 11:25 maximum. So that's about 20 something minutes.
okay.
So by
So that way
11:30,
we might not be able to do much because what I intended to do initially was show them through 3D and kind of like
please
show
let's go
them.
ahead, Adiat. No, let's go
Okay,
ahead. I'm sure that they'll be interested in learning it. Um,
okay. So
I
I'm
hope
going to
I
share
hope
my screen
Vanessa
now.
is here. I hope Vanessa is here. Vanessa, this is for you. Make sure you're watching because right from the get-go you've been asking. So, and for all those who are interested, please make sure you watch this session, right? Complete the video of the practical, and yeah, we will then take you guys all through the process for the online course. Adiat, I will share the slides now, and then from there we would go into the. Just give me a minute, okay? So here we go. Is there a specific slide you would like me to pay attention to?
Yeah, this one is fine. So
Fantastic.
I've prepared something for us today. So I want you guys to meet your 3D, and I want to show you guys like how you can add pattern and where you can get pattern from. I think someone asked me if we won't like if he or she would be designing from scratch. So if you don't have the knowledge of fashion designing yet, or you can cut a garment yourself yet, and you're still learning, you could make use of Pinterest. So this document will be shared to everybody. So I've included like a Pinterest link where you could get this. Where you could get like some of those items and make use of. So you would need to further search yourself. These are just a few I'd come up with. So you need to further search yourself so that you get like a wider range of things. So I'll just so this is like a course guideline of what we'll be doing today that I prepare here, like how you can add pattern, how you can create a visual garment, how you can do animations like video animations in Flow, how you can do turntable, and I think we probably need up to like an hour or more to do that. So I will just try as much as possible to show you guys what I can over the period of time we have now. So can I start now?
Yes, please, you can.
Okay. Um, so let me know if you can see my screen, please.
Adiat, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm going to put it up now so that everybody can see it. Yes, I
Okay, you
can
can
see
see
your
my
screen.
screen. Okay, so this is close. Oh, someone said no.
How
So
about now?
can I continue?
So she's starting the practical, guys. That's what she means by can you see the screen? The practical session is starting. Can you see the please, what platform is this, please?
This is Clo 3D.
Okay.
So I'm sharing my Clo 3D interface. Okay, I think the person said yes already.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of like show you guys a bit of navigation when it comes to 3D. This is an empty scene. We don't have anything in this scene, but this is where we are actually going to be creating something from. So this is your 2D window. So this is where you cut your clothes. So let me see it like that. This is where you cut your clothes. And this is where the 3D window, which is the default window, is where you see your garments. What you're creating in the two window, you see it in the 3D window. So this is your sewing machine. This is your editing machine when you want to lose your clothes while sewing. This is your straight sewing machine. And this is like when you want to sew zigzag or sew one point that is longer to the other, like when you want to do gathers, so something like that. I'll just try as much as possible to use the manual words we know, unlike the grammar. So I'll try as much as possible to simplify it so that we all understand. So this is your edit tool. Probably you have a clothes and you want to pick a point, maybe the lower part of your clothes, you want to pick that point. You know, when we are sewing and we want to kind of like put this gum stay on our clothes at the edge of our clothes. So this is what you use to pick that part. Um, this is like to get your shapes, like different patterns out of your. So this is like a rectangle. If I want to kind of like make like a fabric, so I can call this a fabric now. So as you can see fabric here. So this is what I'm saying. So I'm working here, but I can see everything here. So this would show your clothing in 3D, while this is just your 2D where you can do any form of edits you want to it. So and if you want to add like points, this is to add different kind of points. You can add points. You can add so if I want to add like from this point to this point, then you can add notches here. You can use this one to add your notch to those points. So you can do a whole lot of stuff with Clo 3D. We don't have much time, so I won't be able to kind of like explain like in depth for you guys. But I just want you guys to see how this works. So everything you can think of sewing physically is available for you virtually at the same time with this software. So so I'm going to load in an avatar, a default avatar. Please, can everybody still hear and see and see the screen? Please, can you still see my screen? Okay, thank you very much, Jeff. So I'll continue. I just want to make sure that everybody can see. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to load in a default avatar that we would be dressing today. So so cloth comes with different kind of avatars. You can shape these avatars in different sizes that you want. So those are things that you would get to learn. So avatar. So let me just like so this is like avatar editor. If I want to edit this avatar, so I have the height, I have the bust, I have so I can input my measurements on these things. Like if I have Jeff measurements for an example, and I'm Jeff, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're a boy or you're a girl, so I'm sorry about this, but yeah, let's assume. So and I'm trying to kind of like add like your measurements, and I want to make a garment for you, so I can change all this and add your measurement to get like your exact measurement. I can create an avatar with your exact measurement using this avatar editor. So I'm just really going to show you guys really quick. So someone asked me the other time that if you don't have like a knowledge or if you're starting from the basics, so if I want to create like a short gown for this avatar for an example, and I don't have the knowledge of how to create it, but I've seen it on Pinterest and I've downloaded it on Pinterest. I made the link available. So all I have to do is bring in that pattern here and trace it out. So let's just try that out now. So so this is So all I just need to do is make sure that this pattern I'm bringing in or this design I've downloaded on Pinterest fits in exactly to my avatar. So that's what I have to like make sure of. So I have to scale it to make sure that this thing fits exactly to my avatar. And when I'm tracing it out, it's not too small or too big for my avatar. I think this should be fine. So this should be fine. So So I'll go ahead and just kind of like trace this thing out for us to see. So I like to start from this point. So I like to start from this point. So I'll just trace this thing out. the exact way it is. So in our further class, I'll be showing you guys on how to use these tools very well. So this is just like a brief illustration on how to use this. It's really nothing so special. So yeah. So then, since I have like a part of the garment out already, I'll go ahead and like format my background so that I can take off the initial image I have. So I can do that. I just right click, then I come to format to the background, then I go to reset, then I have my pattern that I've traced out here. To make sure it's fit so that I'm able to kind of like see. So I'm going to reduce the opacity of the fabric so that I'm able to see the avatar body at the same time. I'm able to see the shape of the avatar body. So this is it. We are trying to make an A-line gown, so it doesn't necessarily need to fit exactly. So what I'm trying to do now is to shape the armhole of the avatar of the dress rather. So yeah. So then this should be like so so what I do next is I'm going to kind of like unfold this. So I'm going to unfold it, and if you can see, there's a bit of an error under this place. So there are two ways to get rid of that. Is either you kind of like convert it to curve point, but you still see that mark there, or you try to reshape that particular part. Yeah, this is perfect. So the next thing I'll do is this is the front. I'll duplicate this to the back as well. So I'll duplicate this to the back as well. So I'll come down here, then I'll just say symmetric pattern with sewing. So what this means is that whatever I sew at this place will automatically happens here too. So so you can position your garments manually like this, or you use the reference point. So this is another advantage of Clo. Clo comes with reference point, whereby you can, if I pick this, it automatically fits the avatar body. I hope we can all see that. So let me just increase the opacity so that it's visible. So yeah, so I begin to sew from shoulder to shoulder, side to side. So the next thing I'll do is I'll hold the reference point and I'll simulate this on my avatar body. And we have a dress. So as we can all see, we have a dress now, and you all would agree with me that I really did not know how to create this dress. I had made use of a pattern that I saw on Pinterest and downloaded it and traced it out to actually create this garment. So another thing I like to recommend is you use Pure Ref so that you are able to kind of like check what you're trying to create and at the same time check what you're creating. More like having two screens, but it's just one screen. It's Pure Ref. I think it's free. It's for you to just view pictures to be sure that it's exactly what you're seeing that you're creating. So I made these references for people that feels, oh, I don't know how to create, I can't get into this thing, this and that. So this is just like a short reference of what you can do even if you don't know how to create or you don't know how to do anything. then we can go further. And so if I want to go further and still add some detailings to this, so I can come and so I'll disclaimer, this is just to show you what the software can do. So this process might not really be the ideal process to go about things, but this is just to show you that the software can do so much more than we are really thinking about. So, and considering the fact that I'm kind of like trying to work on the time frame, so I'm not giving you guys like the needed explanations. So I'm just going to make an O here. Um, so
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 I'd
yeah.
like to know, these are some of the things that you will still take your students through thoroughly, I believe, in the online course.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now. I can hear you now.
I said these are some of the things that you intend to take your students through in the online course.
Yes, yes. For the online course, the first class will be you understanding the whole concept of Flow 3D. I'll explain what each tool does for you, what's like in relation to the physical way of sewing, so that you have a better understanding. And if it's a student that does not know how to create fashion before, maybe from physically, I'll take you through how you can help yourself, books that you can read, and how you can get started and even become better than someone that has the whole physical fashion knowledge.
That's amazing. This is a gold mine for a lot of people to embrace. Please go ahead. Also, if you
So
have
yeah, what I
questions,
did there.
kindly post your questions in the comment section so that as she goes through the practical, she can take your questions and attend to them.
So so you can actually get like one pattern and use the pattern to create several like different things. So it's not compulsory; it should be that exact pattern you're following through. So you will notice that the back of the cloth is a bit rumpled. So what you need to do in that extent is you can just there are two ways. Is either you come to Ctrl Z. That means your sewing is not properly done. So you just correct it and you go by it again. So these are several other ways you can create like additions to your garment rather than what you have like initially. So if you agree with me, this is not what like this is not the pattern I brought in initially. I only brought in this upper part initially. So I can do a lot of adjustments to this thing and not just doing adjustments to it. I can do adjustments following I can do adjustments following the person's exact measurement. So that's why I first showed you that you can actually edit your avatar yourself to a real life measurement. Like I can edit this avatar to a real life measurement, a real life body, and so many things for you guys to see and have. So you can convert a real life person to an avatar just by editing the measurement and every other thing that has to do with it. So so I can also so if I feel oh this place is a bit longer, I want this place is a bit shorter. I want this flare to start from the new part. So what I can do is I can shift this below and knee. Then I can extend the garment itself. But first, before I do that, I'm going to reduce the width of the garment. So if you notice, like what I'm doing on the front pattern is also automatically like affecting the back pattern. That's because I made them symmetry. So you can actually make your design without making them symmetry, depending on the style you're working on or what you're doing. So you see how I'm converting just one pattern that I got on Pinterest to several designs. One pattern on Pinterest to several designs. So this is like you don't need to like be a master in fashion designing. All you just need is creativity. You all saw where I started from and you could see where I am now. So this is just like to show you guys a bit of what Clo 3D can do. So I'll just go ahead. I'm going to stop here for the designing. I'd love to add some sleeve and things like that. But let me just show you guys how you can add like textures to it. So there are two ways of adding textures, like I explained earlier. Several ways, not two ways. You can either export the garments now to Substance Painter, or bring in like fabrics from from designer or from a sampler into it, or take the garment to Blender and use nodes to texture it. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to be using like one of the textures I've created. So yeah, so this is one of texture I've created, and I can have it like this. So I've created this print. This is just a print. It's not yet this texture. It's a print I made in using Krita. So Krita is like Photoshop. So I can have this like this. So there are several other ways to go about this thing. So this is just like a rough preview of what you can achieve. Yeah, so let me know if you have any question on the practical section. This is just like to show you guys a rough way of getting things started. This is not like a very full introduction to Clo 3D. It's just for you guys to have an idea of what Clo 3D can achieve. So let me know if you guys have like further questions, or if there's something you like me to talk about. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. So I'm so happy to hear the feedbacks. I'm so thrilled to hear the feedbacks. The future is obviously digital. This is a major, major solution to a lot of fashion servicing challenges that businesses are encountering today, not just in Africa, around the world. And guys, we've come to the end of this session, and I implore you to please go back to the community group, indicate your interest. Kindly, first of all, give your feedback about this free workshop, and then indicate your interest with a high five about your interest in the course, where you would begin to learn how to use the tools even more, and there will be a thorough and even more slow-paced session on all the things that you have watched in this practical session. So, um, Adiat, I would like to say a huge thank you.
Yeah,
Would like
thank
to say
you.
a
Thank you
huge
for
thank you
having
to
me
you.
too.
Yes, you've been so, 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 so impactful. I believe that some people would have to pay a lot of money to even have access to this kind of information. And of your own accord, you have shared it with many Africans across the continent. And I'm glad to see their feedback. Feedbacks are quite interesting and encouraging. Wow, Jeff says this is interesting. Amina says, wow. Vanessa says, wow, I'm happy with this. Deborah says, great, great. People are so excited about this content that you have shared. So, and about 8 to 10 people have indicated interest in the online course, and we will then communicate more with them on the community group that we created for this workshop, and they would enjoy the African Fashion Business Summit discount that Adiyat will be making available. So, thank you everyone for watching. I'm so glad to hear that majority of you have learned a lot, and I'm sure this is a starting point to your career in digital fashion. So, without much further ado, thank you everyone. Kindly ensure you comment give your feedback on the community group, as well as indicate your interest in the course. Or this content will be made available for a little while after um, this workshop. You will have access to watching it for a few more days. But once Adiad makes our online course available, um, we'll probably have to review that because these contents are supposed to be well paid for. So if you cannot see the content at the moment, kindly watch again today, tomorrow, through the weekend, and ensure that you do not miss out on this content. Ewoluwa also says that she's interested in the course. Thank you so much, Adiat. It's been lovely. Finally, I'd like to say to Adiat that thank you for demystifying the fact that modest women cannot function and rock a huge career in the fashion space. You've broken that barrier. You've changed the narrative. A lot of people would probably be taken aback by your appearance. I'm like, oh my god, someone this modest, is designing amazing things, is using digital tools like this, and I think that even helps many more people across the continent to see that they can they can do so much more within the fashion space. We have someone who is very keen on interviewing you. Um, Oduro Patrick, kindly send the admin a private message on WhatsApp. We will share our email with you. We would go through the proper channel, and try to link you up with Adiat. Thank you so much, everyone, again. It's been such a very interesting and inspiring session. Obet, those are your words, inspiring and interesting. Adiat, can you wave bye bye to your audience? And I really hope that they have learned.
Yeah. Bye bye, everybody. And once again, I'm sorry for the breaking transmission.
Oh, it's absolutely fine. I trust that you made up completely for all of that. Thank you, everyone, and have a lovely afternoon, lovely morning. Depends on where you are in Africa. Have a good day, everyone, and bye bye.
Bye.